Is voltage really over, 27? Yeah, it is. So the fuel gauge is really up. Oil pressure, oil temperature's below the green yet, so we're not ready to go there.
Right. Positive. Okay, so vacuum gauge?
Going a little high.
Yeah.
So the way it works is the vacuum pump pulls pretty hard, and there's a little regulator that's basically a valve with a spring.
Right.
And as air pressure pulls it past a certain point, it opens up. So if it's running high like this, they can actually just unsafety the regulator, give it a couple of turns, and it should drop it down a little. So it's fine. There's no real need to bring it down to 5.
Right.
But you could say, hey, can you give this a turn or two, and they'll drop the pressure a little. There's really no risk that I know of it being a little bit high.
Okay.
If it's too high, it might make the gyro spin too fast. But an inch, yeah, it's probably reasonable.
So what do I do?
Sorry, go ahead.
On this screen.
Yeah.
So it is ground tower. What's this M here?
There's a message. Push the M.
Okay.
It says whatever it was programmed to, the first fix is 185 degrees. So it's telling you to set it that. Hit it again, it should go back to nothing. Oh, so we're below the San Jose airspace.
Right.
Hit it again, or it's below 6,000 feet.
Right.
We're also underneath the San Francisco. Hit it again.
10,000 feet.
And that's it. So it doesn't know about where we are vertically.
Okay.
It's telling us we're within the ring, within the full lateral area of the airspace.
And then where do I get to the screen where I see the...
You see this little tick right there?
Right.
It says we're in airport mode, or airport page. Turn this knob until it's on nav. Nav is over here. Keep going. A little further. Good, there's nav. And now it's flashing the 185 saying this was Dumba to Palo Alto. That was the return flight plan. So we can make this go away. I'm going to push OBS here, which says fly the course I'm telling you. And I'm going to put in 308 right there. And now it's going to show us that line on the moving map. But you see where it says TK? That's track. So once we start moving, that'll show us our ground track.
Got it.
What does that say?
So north is 90?
North
or zero?
is 0 or 360. So what is that? So it's reading from right to left, 330 to 360. Each major tick is 10, minor ticks are 5. So what does that show?
360. And this, well,
North
330. So 345.
345. And what's that set to? 10. So it needs adjustment. Ground 4 Sierra Papa, what's the ceiling meter show now?
The ground ceiling's 500.
On the meter?
Affirmative.
Okay, stand by. Yaron, when you get up, you want to give us a basis report?
Will do.
Thank you.
Oh. got this on
That's good.
1345.
And but the runway is now 128, right? Set it to runway heading.
Okay. So I've got strobes, nav, taxi, and beacon.
Remember, taxi's the one you don't want to use because that's the expensive one. Landing light.
So strobe, nav, landing, and beacon.
Okay.
On runway. What should be our abort point and the?
Well, so we get down to the first taxiway. There's from that end, it's
Right.
about 1,000 feet remaining.
Right.
So we should be pretty close to takeoff by the middle of the runway. If we're not in the air by the time we get to the second one, we should abort.
The second taxiway.
From our end.
From this end,
From
the
this
second
end,
taxi
yep.
here. So it's the same thing then, right? From
I may not be able to allow you to come back in. Just advise before you enter the Delta.
Roger, 4 Papa Juliet will advise that we'll be switching to
Tower 4 Sierra Papa, if we're doing pattern work under special and that guy needs to come back in, we'll be happy to stop to let him in.
Cessna 494 Sierra Papa, roger, thank you.
right. So I'm saying, so the decision points is the same from both ends, right? Because
Well, it happens to be.
Right.
Because if I pull up a taxi diagram here, so 1, 2, let's see, where is it? 1, 2 taxiways. So from here, that's about 1,000 feet. And it's actually, it's pretty close to the same from Bravo to that end, Charlie to that end.
13 cleared for takeoff.
So we'd have plenty to stop if we're not in the air by then.
okay. So the same thing then.
Yep.
If you're not in the air by the second taxiway, we abort the takeoff.
The instruments to tell us what the
The engine fails while we are on the with runway remaining. We land straight ahead. If the engine fail after,
We're
then
landing out on the landfill just to the right of the center line.
okay. All right. Cool. Transponder. Oh, review the airspeed numbers. So rotate at 55. We're gonna climb at 74, which is VY, and best flight speed is 6.
Okay.
Transponder is set, and we are ready to take off.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call. You hear?
I hear a little bit of crackling. It could be just a loose thing. Let's wait 1 minute.
Okay.
And see, look at this. See, this is what I was talking about.
Sure.
I knew it was going to break up. If it was going to be like this all day, we wouldn't have come out here.
Okay.
But it's going to be breaking up, and within a minute, probably within another 30 seconds, we'll hear from Yaron on what the bases are.
383, contact NorCal departure.
Departure 33.
Again, are you in the clouds now, sir?
Negative. We're just getting in at 700. About 600 is the basis.
Thank you.
Okay, so now you can call them. We're ready for takeoff.
Got a tower?
Yep.
Got a tower. Palo Alto Tower, Cessna 494 Sierra Papa, ready for takeoff.
Cessna 494 Sierra Papa, Palo Alto Tower, hold short, runway 13.
Holding short on runway 13, Cessna 494 Sierra Papa.
And he has to clear the class Delta under IFR before we can operate under special VFR. Lovely lessons, huh? Cool stuff. Look at this. Breaking up very fast now. We'll probably have clear conditions within 20 minutes.
I saw the geese on the video.
Oh, the flying by, when they went right past the airplane?
Well, the time when you said, whoa.
Yeah.
Cessna Sierra Papa, left close traffic, runway 13, cleared for takeoff.
Right traffic?
Left traffic.
Left traffic, clear for takeoff, runway 13, Cessna 494 Sierra Papa.
There you go. Airspeed's alive. Got 45, 50. We're rotation speed at the first taxiway. And here's the second taxiway.
There's a board.
Well, don't hit him. And there's the end of the runway. And the engine failed here, we go right there. Can you see it? Push the nose down for a second. Well within gliding distance.
Okay.
And now nose up for best rate. 1, 2, 3. That's a little bit better. On the volume. So let's be prepared to level off right here at 500. Throttle back. Don't push the nose down, right? We're trying to not go fast. We can go up a little higher. We're at 450, and we can turn our crosswind. A little bit more power. We'll slowly climb up.
Attention all aircraft, information echo now current. Runway 13 is in use. Visibility 4. Mist ceiling is
So we just
overcast.
And let's throttle back to maintain altitude and stay here on the downwind.
Okay.
Remember flaps, right? That'll help to keep the speed under control.
Cessna 40 Papa, runway 13 cleared for the options.
Here for the options. Runway 13, Cessna 40 Papa.
So here's that track, 303. We're tracking toward the runway by 5 degrees. So a little 5-degree right turn. You see this? That's telling you you're headed toward the runway. So turn a little to the right, and that track number will increase. We're at 306, 307. And now look at us. Now it looks like we're flying parallel to the runway. Heading-wise, can you see it?
Right. What's the wind like right now?
Well, the surface winds were now from our right at 4 knots, right? The wind was, on the previous ATIS, it was 040 at 4.
Because we have 500, I'm going to leave the power for a little bit.
Just a few seconds. So 500, 200 feet, 15, 20 seconds. And you're actually turning a little toward the runway, not by much. We're still tracking 308, that's fine.
I'm going to go all the way to Cooler Landing and turn left.
No, but we do 45, right? So we could turn now,
Okay.
and then throttle back. Our first Sierra Papa, we flew that one at 600 feet. We didn't see any clouds at all, and it looks like it's breaking up really rapidly.
Cessna 40 Papa, roger. The departure, the Duchess just told us the bases are at 700.
I thought he said 6. Okay, we'll try 7 next time. See the Pappies?
Yeah.
We're a little to the left of the runway.
Red.
Yeah, we're a little low on the slope, but we're fine. Our aim point's past the 1-3 numbers. Yeah, it's about 3 seconds to round out. Look off to the side a little, see how high you are. Oh, look at that, huh? That's great. 1. Let's climb to 700 feet this time.
Okay.
Again, we can turn at 500. Sierra Sierra Papa, we heard that. We'll plan a full stop. Remember your flaps, right? That'll help you not accelerate. Oh, you already have 10 flaps.
Right.
Huh, well, interesting.
Well, I just added it when you said.
Okay.
Right when you said.
I see. It's like, wow, why are we going so fast with 10 flaps? Because we're taking time to slow down.
Yeah.
Now hold the altitude. We're going down a little bit. So if you look over there, you'll see the beacon. There was a white.
Number 1, runway 13, cleared to land.
Was it for us?
Yes.
Clear to land, runway 13, Cessna 494 Sierra Papa.
And that means not options, so we do a full stop taxi back.
Right.
You're losing some altitude, and now you'll need a little power to maintain altitude.
Because, yeah, and I'm converging to the runway.
And you look at the runway first.
Right.
See how you look. We're still pointing a little left.
Is there wind from this side?
Yeah, it was 4 knots, right?
Right.
Which isn't much. That's about a 3-degree crab angle. Well, let me think. We're slow. So at 100 knots ground speed, that'd be 10. That would be about 3 degrees. That's about 5 degrees crab angle at this speed. Now look at the runway. You've turned left. You see it?
Right.
And we're 304 converging. Now we're normal pattern. We can throttle back and turn base at the 45. It's wonderfully distracting, so it's actually useful.
A little low. I'm gonna
You're holding a little left rudder that you don't need. Full flaps. Goes down just a touch. We're a little slow, and then ease the power off so you don't get a big pitch down all at once. There you go. There's your arrest. There's going to be a thump. That's right. We're a full stop.
Okay. Well, I know what I did. Talk about that.
Okay, on our taxi back.
4 Papa Juliet, cleared to enter Palo Alto Class Delta service area from the west. Maintain special VFR conditions that are below 1,100.
Roger, maintain special VFR conditions that are below 1,100, and we'll let you know once we're clearing past.
Look how quickly it's getting better.
Right. Okay, so I think what I did there was after the balloon, I just pulled it up too quickly.
Yep.
That's why just sudden drop.
Well, we got slow. So you ballooned a little bit, you got slow, and then we started to come down. You could probably have flared a little more at the end.
Right.
But as you can see, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that hard an impact.
Yeah.
So it's just fine to leave it there.
Uh-huh.
And if you'd added a little power, it would have reduced our descent rate a little. Oh no, we can just go right up to the end. And if I can see the helicopter. Sorry?
Is it a helicopter?
Yeah. So he's right there. He's 2 miles out, 300 feet up. See if we can see him. at the edge of the class delta. Miles is a long way to see a guy.
Not land.
No, it looks like he's hovering there.
So if he did not land, he could be holding this traffic then?
You mean sitting here for a long time, do you mean?
No, I mean, let's say I did not land.
Yeah.
I'm just, pattern.
Yeah.
Am I holding the IFR traffic then?
Not so much because they tell you to land.
Okay, they ask you to.
Yeah.
Palo Alto Tower, helicopter 4 Papa Juliet, would like to depart northwest on 7 sub.
Perfect.
Contact 4 Papa Juliet, roger. Contact St. Carlos Tower.
Contact San Carlos, helicopter 4 Papa Juliet, thanks.
Four Sierra Papa is ready.
4 Sierra Papa, roger. Hold position.
Hold position. Means don't go anywhere, he's still too close. So he's starting to move. This is fucking great. So we can tap him and we'll see the speed. He's doing 60 knots. 300, 400, he's now 400 feet up and flying away.
Once he's cleared the airspace, he's...
I think so. I want to see if anybody else is around. I don't see anybody else. Oh, so there's the edge. I was looking at this ring. There's the edge of the class Delta.
White one?
The white one is just a 2-mile ring.
Left close traffic, runway 13, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 13, set number 4940, Papa.
So he just cleared the class Delta and they immediately cleared us to take off. Just an awesome learning opportunity. I like it. I'll need sunglasses pretty soon. You might try just flying normal pattern altitude. I don't think we're going to run into any clouds this time. In the air at the first taxiway. So just looking out the right window, it looks to me the pitch attitude's a little low and we're probably a few knots fast. And sure enough. 500 and crosswind turn. Look before you turn.
Okay.
And there's where you need the back pressure. You see how you're picking up a little speed?
Right.
Now it's hard to see the horizon, but just knowing you need a little back pressure, you don't even have to see the horizon change. Right there again, lost a little altitude and picked up a little speed because you're not holding the nose up quite enough in the turn.
Right.
4 Sierra Papa, would you say the bases are there right around 700?
Actually, where we are, there aren't any bases. It's kind of thin over the field at about 8. We're at 700 now. It's going to probably get completely clear within 10 minutes.
Roger.
Yeah, the clouds are really not clouds over the field; they're just thin obscuration. So airspeed's a little low. We're going up a little bit. That's okay. You didn't need that much down trim, I don't think. And you need a little power because we're going low.
for a little longer? Because I'm low.
Well, we're only 100 feet low, and turning base, we should probably be at 600 feet, not any higher. And it's about time to turn base. Look before you turn. Now I'll shut up for a while.
Okay.
Did he clear us option? I don't think he did.
I did.
He did?
Well, can we ask again?
Yeah, you can always ask. Confirm.
Confirming we're clear for the option. Cessna 4940 Papa.
Voice your Papa, firm, sir. Sorry, you're number 1, runway 2, and cleared for the option.
Clear for the option. Cessna 4940 Papa.
And that means he didn't clear us when he said sorry.
Fine.
Use the force, Luke. We're a little high on power. The airplane sounds and feels fast. And sure enough at 80. Now we got a tiny right crosswind. And geese on the puddle short of the numbers. You can go right now if you go. No brake. Aha! That means your toes are not on the bottom of the pedals. You're too high on the pedals. So put your heels on the floor, back them up, so your toes are on the bottom half of the pedals only. Sherlock Holmes, flight instructor. Look before you turn.
You scared me.
I can tell. Better I scare you a few times than you end up turning right into another airplane.
Yeah.
I mean, there may not be another airplane there, but you don't want to turn into a flock of geese or buzzards or seagulls. Now just continue right here. I think this is not a cloud. This is just a place that's just a little thicker. So let's hold the altitude up. And we can see through this thing, right? It's not a cloud. It's an obscuration division. If you can't see through it, you can't fly through it. But we can see through it, and watch, we won't lose.
Voice your Papa, you're number 1, runway 13, cleared for the option.
Clear for the option. Number 1, runway 13.
That's the Voice your Papa. Yeah, so see, we never lost sight of the tower.
Right.
So that wasn't the cloud. It was just a little bit area of lower visibility. We're pitched up. Why do we look so much pitched up?
I'll talk about that.
It'll come to you. Oh yeah, 10 flaps. Huh. So we could turn it our normal place, and we'll probably need 20 flaps a little earlier because we're now a little high.
Right.
Exactly, that's right. Still looking over the nose. Hold that right wing down, got a little right crosswind. I'm having fun, how about you?
Yeah?
It's great. Your beats shooting up the Capitol. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm gonna look to the left.
Oh yeah! Woo!
And now turn left.
And you could immediately go to 10 flaps. Yep, requires a little down trim, and that's why we're slow and high. It's the zen of it.
Listen, 40 Papa number 1, runway 13, cleared for the option.
Clear for the option, runway 13, Cessna 40 Papa.
Of course, here, Papa, we could also call this a pileup of few 800.
Listen, 40 Papa, roger, thank you.
All part of the service, for us here, Papa. With nobody else in the pattern, I can be fun, you know. Have some fun with it, but... There's one guy getting ready to take off. On the 1-3 end in the run-up. Speed's good, altitude's good, power's good. Shocking.
The heading may not be as good.
Track 303, we're converging a little bit onto the left.
What should it be?
308.
Oh, wait.
Right, runway heading for 3-1 is 308. But we were a little wide, and so we've converged a little, and that's good. We're angled out a little bit. We haven't quite turned 90 yet. And if you wanted to go further, that's fine.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, then it's fine.
Intentionally overshoot.
Oh, I wouldn't. Look how far we're past the taxiway. And this unstabilizes your approach. Did you overshoot because you were high?
Yeah.
But you could have just gone to power off if you needed to.
Right.
That's in your bag of tricks, is power setting and flap timing. And look at these guys standing right on the final. Taking pictures, actually. A little high. And you didn't look off to the side, and what did we get? A thump. Little back pressure, because the nose wants to go down, so don't let it hop off and come back down. As you raise the flaps, get the nose to where the attitude you want and hold it. And this is great. I love it.
Nobody in the left. option, runway 13, Cessna 40 Papa. We have right crosswind, or now we have left crosswind, right?
Yep, the wind is from our left now. It's, pardon me, it's right on the ground. It's not very much, just a couple of knots.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Sorry about that.
Force your property. Able to maintain VFR conditions?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's we got essentially no clouds now at all.
Force your proper Roger. We're making the VFR here momentarily. You're still number 1113, clear to land.
Clear to land, Cessna 4940 Papa, runway 13.
Lander option, Cessna 40 Papa.
Force your proper correction option.
Thank you. Cleared option 41340 Papa. So he technically had to ask us if we could maintain VFR conditions before they called the field VFR and got rid of our special VFR clearance. Turning too early.
Because I felt like I'm low.
Well, low you'd add power, but look at where we are now. You got to come over here to join the final.
Yeah, okay. I was trying not to add power and still make to the runway.
But you would have anyway. But that better to add a little power than fly that crazy dog leg.
Okay.
Guy and his kid are still on the final. Should I open up the window and yell at them? No, they'd hear us if I yelled, "Not a good place to stand."
I'm gonna flow down the runway.
1, 2, 3 seconds. There's the round out. Notice we're really flat. We touched. Oh, don't pull up so much. Now you got to reflare, right? All right, we can go if you do it right now.
Well, I want to go.
Okay, fine.
Stop.
That's fine. That's a good exercise too.
I'm in doubt. I want to stop.
As long as you got space, you can either make an early go around, or when you know you have enough distance to stop, you stop. But indecision is death. Maybe not literally, but it can be a mess. I'll tell you a story on the taxi back. Let's get the mixture lean for our taxi. And I'm going to taxi so you can listen. I have the airplane. So first, tell me about that big overflare.
Oh, this one?
Oh, on this landing, we went way up. What was that? Why did that happen?
Because I was fast.
Right, you had enough energy to get a lot of float.
Right.
And you can't get rid of it all at once. So you just come down and just hold the airplane just off the ground. It's not a mechanical, we go from here to here.
Right.
It's we level off and just hold the altitude. As the airplane slows down, it starts to sink, you bring it up a little bit. Sinks a little more, you bring it up, and that's when we're looking over here. So since you weren't looking there, and we had all that extra energy, we ended up going up about 30 feet. So what do we need to do? Just reduce the pitch attitude a little. We don't want to go negative. As you go negative, the sink rate will get really fast, and you'll go into the ground nose wheel first. Just let it sink a little, and then resume the flare. So the story I was going to tell you is one day I saw a guy coming in a P210. That's a pressurized, turbocharged, 6-seat, 310 horsepower airplane. And he thought he might have to go around because there was somebody else on the runway. Started to put the power in, realized that guy was going to clear, pulled the power back.
Left close traffic, runway 13, clear for takeoff, 12303.
Sierra Papa, 13, cleared for takeoff, left close traffic. I still have the airplane, just try to see if I can finish the story. So he decided he was going to land, touched down, and was deciding to add power to go around, realized he had plenty of distance to stop, throttled back, but now he had too much speed, and he went right off the end of the runway. That's where those people are standing.
Right.
So you got to make your mind up and not change multiple times. Okay, ready for the airplane? Mixture rich. We have flaps up, which is fine. Your airplane. That RPM come down as you richened it up.
Foxtrot's now current wind 210 at 4, visibility 7. Ceiling 1000 broken. Altimeter 3027, lane departing, runway 13, information Foxtrot.
1,000 broken, really?
Palo Alto Tower, helicopter 4, Papa Juliet is with you, back to John Barr Station.
Tango 44, Papa Juliet, Palo Alto Tower. Proceed inbound Palo Alto Tower, altimeter 3027, transition approved.
3027, transition approved, and full late now once we're ready at the stop 85 northwest sound. Thanks.
I have no idea what he said.
Yeah.
We'll let you know once we're ready for takeoff back northwest sound from the south.
Papa Juliet, roger, thanks.
Tower is now VFR?
So we're VFR now.
Nobody on our left?
Hey.
And on our
So it was funny there is it said, I have no idea what he said. And then Tower said, say again? What was happening there is you were reducing the pitch before you throttled back, and that way we got just a little fast, and you can turn right to the downwind. We don't want to. Oh, what was that? A little engine roughness there for a moment. How do the gauges look? Oil pressure and temperature are good. Everything looks good. That might have been just a little funny turbulence. Oh yeah, that's what it is. That was a little turbulence.
Traffic 12 o'clock, about through 2 miles to the helicopter inbound for the power station. Altitude is 300 feet.
Here, Papa Roger, are they actually landing there?
4 Papa, negative, they're going to the power station.
Okay, thank you.
This is 4 Papa, you're number 1, runway 13, clear for the option.
Number 1, runway 13, clear for the option. Cessna 49 approach there, Papa.
He didn't understand my question. It sounds like the helicopter is landing at the power station, 600 feet below us.
There.
Just to the left of the nose, and he's 2 miles out. We'll never see him.
Following, looks like we're no longer going to need our IFR clearance to Byron.
Series 2, Bravo Mike, Roger. Do you want to cancel your IFR outright?
Cancel the IFR and we'll take flight following at 3,500 to Byron, 122 Bravo Mike.
Series 2, Bravo Mike, Roger. Just hold position, you ready to go as well?
We are ready in 1 minute, 122 Bravo Mike.
2 Bravo Mike, Roger. Just call up when you're ready. You can use the same code. We'll switch to the VFR.
Sounds good. Same code to Bravo Mike. Palo Alto helicopter 4 Papa Juliet departing northwest sound.
4 Papa Juliet, Roger. Going back to San Carlos.
That is okay, buddy.
4 Papa Juliet, Roger. Contact San Carlos Tower 119.0. Good day.
19-0. Appreciate it. Thanks.
I see him now. Behind us. That looks nice. Unbelievable. Hold the nose up. There you go. As the flaps came up, the nose came down. See the pitch come down and then come back up as you rolled out?
Yeah.
That means not enough back pressure in the turn. So the nose came down, you picked up a little speed, you leveled the wings, it came right back up.
Papa, number 1, runway 13, clear for the option.
Number 1, runway 13, clear for the option. Airport here, Papa.
We're pretty wide here, so we flew a little too long on the crosswind.
Paul to tower 5062 Golf in the hold short area, run up complete.
Tower 5062 Golf, Palo Alto Tower. Left crosswind approved, runway 13, clear for takeoff, wind calm.
13, clear for takeoff. 62 Golf.
That it's right crosswind here.
Look at the runway. We're angled toward it a little bit. So just aim us a little right and just look at it and see, this looks like a good distance. And that's pretty good. Do we have to get the track perfect? No, but what is it? Now it's 311, so we're tracking away a little bit now, but not by much. Gas, mixture, seatbelts, flaps, power reduction? A little, like 10 seconds ago, right? We're past the end of the runway. We're trying to be as repeatable, do the same thing every time.
Palo Alto Tower, good morning from Stationer 206 Hotel Golf, ready, runway 13, requesting our left crosswind departure.
Stationer 206 Hotel Golf, Palo Alto Tower, pull short runway 13.
Hold short runway 13, 206 Hotel Golf. Palo Alto Tower, helicopter 424, Papa Julie, it is heading back to Doppler, south facing.
Helicopter 424, Papa Julie, Palo Alto Tower, transition approved, Palo Alto 3026, report when leaving the station again.
3026 will report leaving helicopter for Papa Julie, thanks. Palo Alto Ground Cirrus 122 Bravo Mike, ready for VFR departure, left downwind for Sonol in sequence.
Stationer 6 Hotel Golf, left crossing approved outside the upwind Cessna, remaining in a pattern, runway 13, clear for takeoff, wind calm.
Clear for takeoff 13, and we'll turn crosswind and remain clear as Cessna.
Cirrus 122 Bravo Mike, Palo Alto Tower, was that you calling up ready to go towards Sonol?
122 Bravo Mike, affirmative, like left downwind departure for Sonol.
500.
Left cross.
clear for takeoff, left crosswind. We'll keep the station air in sight. 2 Bravo Mike.
Starbase 62 Golf, for exchange approved. Good day.
Thanks. 6 Golf.
This is the 4 Sierra Papa. Helicopter's back at the power station, landing now 300 feet, and your number 1 runway 13, clear for the option.
Number 1, runway 13, clear for the option. That's the phone and the first Sierra Papa. Low for the power for
Business 6 Hotel Golf, remain outside San Jose's Class Charlie.
We'll remain outside the Charlie for 206 Hotel Golf.
This is 2 Bravo Mike, land outside San Jose's Class Charlie.
2 Bravo Mike, local.
Look at what's happening here. As you rolled in, the nose came down. Look at the speed go up.
This is 2 Bravo Mike, you'll have the same direction station in sight.
Now the nose is going back up again.
Same direction, traffic in sight. 2 Bravo Mike.
This is 2 Bravo Mike, roger, contact NorCal approach 125.35, advising at the traffic in sight. Good
And
day.
we could turn.
25.35, good day, 2 Bravo Mike.
And that last landing, you looked way off to the side over here and you lost the pitch attitude. And the airplane nosed down just before touchdown. Got it back up, but we got a nice thump. So really, you don't need to look for any further left than about there. You look all the way over here, you don't see the pitch, and close to the ground, pitch is really critical.
This is 4 Sierra Papa, number 1, runway 13, clear for the option.
4 Sierra Papa, clear for the option, runway 13.
3026, you going to San Carlos again? 3026, Saudi, San Francisco. 4 Papa Julie, roger, contact San Carlos Tower, 119.0. See you in a minute. 920, see you back there.
That's to force you to look at the runway a little bit more, and I'm going to turn that off. So it's just all out the window view now for ground track. Terrible all these tricks instructors have to make your life more difficult.
You have heat on? Can we turn off the heat?
Oh,
now?
absolutely. Yeah, it's getting a little warm, isn't it? Heat off. Oh, so something else I noticed. You're applying a little left rudder here in this turn. And once you have bank angle and you apply rudder into the turn, it slices the nose down. So that's one of the reasons you're picking up a little speed. We really, even in a left climbing turn, you still need a little right rudder. And that left rudder is pushing the nose down, so your speed's going up. Another thing I'll mention here is that you notice how it looks like we're going really fast when we're in the round out and flare? Because we got no wind.
Papa number 1, runway 13, clear for the option 1 com.
First,
Yep.
clear for the option, runway 13.
So when we have no wind versus the normal about 10 knots that we're used to, 10 knots out of our 50 knot touchdown speed, we're going 20% faster. And you can see it. So that's why it looks like we're fast as we're close to the ground, even when our airspeed is normal. We're about 100 RPM higher on this approach, and you see it made a significant difference. 100 RPM is a significant change. Five knots fast, so we're going to float a little bit. Looking pretty flat for touchdown. Hold the nose up. Works like a charm. Okay. Works like a charm every time when you see where it's starting to slow down, you look off to the side. It's amazing how that works. Those guys who wrote the airplane flying handbook knew what they were doing.
How are we doing on time?
We're an hour and 13 into our flight. We'll do one or two more.
Sun has
That works
sort of,
for you? It's 11:42.
well, the sun has started bothering me a little.
Force here, Papa. You can remain in the pattern.
Probably we're talking about it as we taxi back here. We'll let you know.
This is Force here, Papa. Roger. We're gonna be switching to 3-1 now, so you can just make a 180 at your discretion. Just hold short runway 3-1.
Okay, we'll do that. Force your pop-up. So you want to do that reversal and do another one? Because now we're facing this way, so you're not looking into the sun anymore.
Okay, let's do a few.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's come up to the taxiway, and we'll come right up to the right edge here. I'm going to help you with the rudder here. Add just a little power. We're going to come right up to, no, just a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to pivot with, add a little power.
After 424, Papa Julie, pedal out to tower, transition.
And see how tight we're able to turn.
26, and just report when you're leaving the station again.
And there we are. Cool, huh?
Yep.
Papa Julie, and just change altimeter 3027. 3027, copy.
Trim set. Tell them we're ready.
Cessna Force here, Papa, right close, traffic, runway 31 clear for takeoff, on call.
Clear for takeoff, runway 31, right traffic, Cessna 494 here, Papa.
This is Force here, Papa. Traffic just ahead to your right as the helicopter land power station.
Force your Papa, Roger. We see it. Just ahead. He's almost 2 miles just ahead. How much higher than us do you think he is?
1,000 feet?
What number?
1,000 feet?
You say 1,000?
2,000.
4,000. 4,200 feet above us. He's big.
This is Force here, Papa, number 1131, clear for the option, one call.
Clear for the option, runway 31, Cessna 494 here, Papa.
Let go for a second. We were going, we pitched up. You're holding a little down trim, down force. Looking over the nose, landed a little flat.
Hello, the Tower helicopter 4 Papa Julie, departing northwestbound from the substation.
10 parallel to tower, let's go in 0 second.
The relay here from 4 Sierra Papa, the helicopter said he was departing from the power station.
Helicopter 424 Papa Julie, roger. Delta altimeter 3027 still and going to San Carlos.
3027 northwestbound towards San Carlos, that's correct.
4 Papa Julie, roger. Contact San Carlos Tower 119.0, good day.
19-0, appreciate it for the relay, thanks.
This is 4 Sierra Papa, your number 1131, clear for the option 1 call.
For the option, runway 31.
They're turning final just a little too early. Nope. Oh, good they didn't hit him. That was fun. Wow, a lot of birds today. Hold it. See, again we landed a little flat. You see, after you touched off, you were able to lift this back off again. One more? We don't have to.
Yeah, let's call off.
Okay. Getting tired?
Well, sun is bothered me a little bit, and I don't have my wristbands today.
Oh, is that bothering you?
A little bit, and then I don't have my water. I just use all the water on the windshield.
That should be 2 different bottles. Yeah, I see them. You know, their primary job? Taking more rabbits.
What?
Their primary job is to make more rabbits.
Oh.
And they are very good at it.
Palo Alto Tower, we are just terminating here.
This is 4 Sierra Papa, roger. Taxi back to Ram, Zulu, Yankee 2, suggest Juliet, and you can monitor ground 125.0, good day.
Point the ground, taxi Zulu, Yankee 2, Juliet. 4 Sierra Papa, thanks for your help.
You sound a little tired.
Yeah.
So there's a lesson. The water for the windshield is a different bottle from the water for you.
I know.
That's a cool lesson, though. I like that one.
If I had had some water, I could just for 15 more.
Oh, we'll be 127. We'll be pretty close to an hour and a half. I was thinking one more, is all.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We were the only pattern worker for an hour and a half. Only one. So we were going around the pattern in 4.25 minutes. I actually timed it. So we're doing more than we would normally get here because we didn't get any upwind to the auto bridge or downwind to the amphitheater. A rare event at Palo Alto. And look at the sky now.
Start flying now.
Sorry?
People will start flying now.
Yeah, maybe if they didn't write off the whole morning.
Follow us to tower, Skyhawk 5043 Juliet, 3500 visual 31.
Did you did you run your full after landing check?
Enter left base runway 31. Verify information, Golf.
Left base 31, and we have Golf 5043 Juliet.
186 Charlie Sierra.
This is 186 Charlie Sierra, Palo Alto Tower. Straight out approved, runway 31, clear for takeoff, 13403.
Clear for takeoff, runway 31, 6 Charlie Sierra.
Steve Martin once said about acting that you use every skill you've ever had. And he was talking about from LA Story. He was roller skating in an art museum, and he actually did the roller skating. Why do I mention this? It's like a second level comment. Because in flying, I find that I use everything I've ever encountered before, and one of the things I encountered a long time ago was reading about differential diagnosis in medicine, and working with a medical student or a resident. The more experienced doctor would ask, "Did you do this test?" And when they're trying to do a differential diagnosis, do you know what differential diagnosis is? It's that if you're unsure about what's wrong with someone, there's a whole tree of things to do, a test, a measurement, something that says it could be this or it could be that, and you go down a decision tree. So when I asked, did you run your post-landing check, you said, oh, I didn't run the mixture. So the doctor asking the student, did you run this test? No, it's not that disease. Did you run this checklist? No, I didn't didn't clean the mixture.